last minute, an appeals court reducing the bond in his civil fraud case by more than half to $175 million. The trial judge had set it at more than $450 million. Mr. Trump praising the ruling.
What they do is they do election interference, which is court cases, and let's try and tie him up and let's take as much of his money as possible. I respect the appellate division for substantially reducing that ridiculous amount of money.
With no lenders willing to cover the staggering penalty while he appeals, Mr. Trump was facing the prospect of New York's Attorney General seizing his iconic properties and bank accounts as soon as today, but now has 10 days to come up with the far smaller bond. Mr. Trump saying he has the cash and was pressed by NBC's Garrett Haake.
And now that the bond's been reduced, are you going to start putting money into your campaign?
Well, first of all, it's none of your business, frankly, but I might.
The court found Mr. Trump falsely inflated the value of his properties to get banks to give better loan terms. His attorneys are appealing, saying there were no victims, that the banks were repaid. But today, New York Attorney General Letitia James highlighted the former president is still on the hook should he ultimately lose his appeal, saying Donald Trump is still facing accountability for his staggering fraud. The $464 million judgment plus interest against Donald Trump and other defendants still stands. Meanwhile, the presumptive GOP nominee sat stone-faced in a different courtroom today, receiving a serious setback. A judge in Manhattan setting a new date of April 15th for the first-ever criminal trial of a former president. Facing charges of doctoring his company's records to cover up an alleged affair before the 2016 election, Mr. Trump's legal team today failed to convince the judge from delaying the trial any further.
I don't know how you can have a trial that's going on right in the middle of an election. Not fair. They're all trying to damage Trump as much as possible. It's having the reverse effect.
And Laura, so this trial will get underway in 3 weeks. The former president was asked today whether he would testify in the case.
Yes, Lester, and he says he would have no problem testifying, saying he's done nothing wrong. And he did take the stand in his civil fraud trial, but a criminal trial comes with very different risks.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.